following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show presented by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani, and this episode is brought to you by Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Get yourself some delicious coffee. Taste the Kona difference. Head over to hawaiianisles.com. You can also find their delicious coffee at Amazon. Neil, my man, how are you doing, sir?
Nice to have you back. You sound like you're rested. I see you're drinking something there, some beverage, helping you with your post-cold. It sounds like it took out your entire family again. I feel bad for you. I feel bad when I just have to take care of myself. I can't imagine taking care of children when you are sick yourself. That's got to be crazy.
I had maybe like one of the worst weekends that I've had in a long time. Both my kids got sick after already recovering from being sick. My son, I think he had an ear infection. My daughter had a fever. We had to rush her to urgent care because she was like breathing funny. Neil, I didn't get any sleep. I felt like crap. I feel much better today. It was like awful, man. Two sick kids. My wife was like all stressed out and angry, so she's barking at me. It was awful, man. It was an awful weekend. Like, you're having a bad weekend when you're looking forward to the regular weekdays coming back, man. That's how you know you're having a bad weekend. But I'm back. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's talk some hoops, Neil. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. I had a tough loss in my fantasy league last week. Majestic Mike in the Hoop Ball League took me down pretty hard. My worst loss of the season. Still trying to hang on there, first place, but I really want to win the Hoop Ball League, the part that I'm in. All right, we've got 9 games. You see any news and notes before we jump in? We got a little late start tonight.
I do not see much news and notes. I say let's just jump into this, man. As you said, 9 games. I'm going to go ahead and lead us off because I missed last night. I missed yesterday due to being under the weather. So I'm gonna lead us here. Here we go. I believe the first game of the evening was the Knicks and the Cavs, 2 of the worst teams in the NBA. The Cavs getting the win here, 107-104. Gonna jump over on the Knicks side and gonna start with Kevin Knox. 13 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, a block, 5 of 16 from the field, 1-3, 2-2 from the line. Dennis Smith Jr., man, after a big weekend, had a big 30-point blow-up game. This one feels a little disappointing. 10 points. Love the 2 blocks and the 3 steals, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 of 12 from the field. We know field goal percentage could hurt him. Turnovers as well. I like that he only had 1 turnover tonight. DeAndre Jordan with the double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, a block, 2 assists on 5 of 7 shooting. Dotson getting the start, but not doing too much here. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and assists, a steal. Hazonia, I got pretty excited when this guy got moved into the starting lineup, but that quickly faded when he's only getting limited minutes still, only 16 tonight. Put up a really low-end line, 5 points, 5 rebounds, and assists. So just keep an eye on Hazonia, but no need to make a move. And probably the biggest surprise of the night, another guy to keep an eye on, Kadeem Allen, 25 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what to think of this. I'm just going to watch him. It's nice that he got 32 minutes, and he had decent usage tonight. He took 16 shots, made 10 of them. I don't know, man. Robinson still not really firing yet, coming off the bench, 24 minutes, had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Vonleh is just gone. Alonzo Trier, gone. Cornette, gone. Neil, what do you think of the Knicks?
I don't think much of them, unfortunately, for fantasy. Like you said, Hazonia was one guy I thought might be able to break out here in this last third of the season because he's not great, but he puts up a lot of stats, and sometimes they don't help his team win, which New York doesn't want to win. So I thought he might be the perfect tank candidate. but Fizdale probably wants to win. So I'm not trusting him. I'm not trusting anyone on this team except for Jordan. Surprised he's still there. Kevin Knox in points leagues, I trust him. His field goal percentage is just too bad. And then I guess if you have Dennis Smith Jr., maybe you ride him to see if he does put up some decent defensive stats. But I'm not big on really anyone here. I will say Mitchell Robinson off the bench. I do trust him. Another solid night, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 6 on the field. I'm not sure if you already said that box score. I'm sorry. But he's the one I guess I'd want there if he's still available. Everyone else, like you said, Kadeem Allen, I'm not even going to bother. I think it's just so random from night to night who's going to get minutes and who's going to show up and who's going to get the usage that I don't think it's worth tracking New York for the rest of the season. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Knicks. Anything else before I jump over to Cleveland?
Nope.
All right, so on the Cavaliers side tonight, Kevin Love back in the starting lineup. He played 16 minutes. For a 16-minute night, it was actually pretty impressive. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4-4 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. It looks like he's ramping up. Certainly, if he's been dropped, I think he's worth an ad just to see where this ends up. Larry Nance is now situated in the starting lineup. We'll see if Tristan Thompson ever comes back. But as long as Larry Nance is starting, getting 34 minutes, he's worth owning and playing tonight. 15 points, 16 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the floor. Did have 5 turnovers, so would hurt you there tonight. David Nwaba, I thought may be worth a pickup, but I think he's going to be very low end going forward. Just 5 points in 33 minutes tonight. Colin Sexton struggled from the field, 7 of 21, but did play 39 minutes. I think his fantasy value won't be until next year. So I do like him as a hold if you're in a keeper league. And then Brandon Knight, interesting now on the team, got the start at guard. Just played 16 minutes though. So maybe watch him, not trusting him. I still think Clarkson will have more value off the bench than Knight does starting. The other new addition is Marquise Chris, 22 minutes. This guy has been in and out of fantasy buzz ever since he's been in the NBA. He's too untrustworthy for me to really look at him seriously. I'm not going to pay much attention to him either. Cleveland, I think, is also going to be tanking down the stretch. So who knows where the minutes come from, and if they're playing well, they might actually get pulled from the game. So you have any thoughts on the Cavaliers?
This is kind of another team that's a little tough to figure out because we're missing two key pieces in Cedi Osman and Tristan Thompson. So really hard to get excited about like Chris or Nawaba or even Nance, who, I would love to get excited about Larry Nance, but it'll be interesting to see when those guys get back, what this team looks like at full strength. We know they're tanking, so let's just keep an eye on them and see what happens. All right, I'm going to move to the next game. Charlotte Hornets and the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers getting the win here, 99-90. Going to look over on the Charlotte side. Got to start with Kemba Walker, 34 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, 4 threes on 10 of 23 shooting, 10 of 12 from the lines. Great. Jeremy Lamb has been pretty solid. Actually fouled out of this one, but still put up a heck of a line. In 38 minutes, had 21 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 3. 7 of 22 from the field's not great shooting, but was 6 of 6 from the line. Still a pretty decent game from him. Cody Zeller, man, I actually picked this guy up in my home league, but I haven't had the guts to actually put him in my lineup. Maybe this is the sign that I needed. 18 points, 9 rebounds, and assists, 6 of 9 from the line, 6 of 11 from the field. Let's hope he can keep his foot on the gas here. Batum with a big letdown. 2 points in 34 minutes, only shot 1 of 8. No blocks, 1 steal, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, no threes. This is a pretty disappointing game from Batum. Marvin Williams with a disappointing game as well. He did leave this game briefly. I'm trying to pull this up. Excuse me. Oops. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. Marvin Williams did leave this game right toe right toe discomfort in the third. So that likely contributed to his bad game. He's been much better than this. Still had 11 boards, three assists, 2 steals, just only 5 points, 2 of 10 shooting. Nobody off the bench that we trust here. Nobody. Neil, what do you think of the Hornets?
Yeah, I'm very interesting to see Lamb. He's been chucking it the last couple games. I don't know if this is a trend that's going to go forward or just a short period of time. Usually he doesn't get nearly as many shots as Walker, and tonight almost had the identical number. So that was interesting. He didn't shoot very well, but I'm curious to see if this continues. And like you said, Zeller, I picked him up as well in my home league. I have, like you, I've not started him yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I feel pretty good after this game. So maybe I'll throw him in there. Other than that, no other changes based on tonight. Batum, I pick him up and drop him all the time. So I just can't trust him. And Marvin Williams can be trusted, but I think they're better options I won't say better options. He's just consistently going to be okay, especially in 8 category leagues. 9 category leagues, he does so much better because he doesn't turn it over, but 8 category leagues will just be low end usage. All right, on the Indiana side tonight, Miles Turner continues to play very well. 3 steals, 3 blocks, 2 3-pointers. In addition to that, he shot 6 of 10 from the field, 18 points, 8 rebounds, and assists. Bojan Bogdanovic, a quiet night for him, 5 of 11 from the field, 14 points, did knock down a 3-pointer. Thaddeus Young, very consistent, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists on 5 of his 7 shooting. Wesley Matthews now joining the team and starting. Played 30 minutes tonight, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Just shot 2 of 10. I think he's got that spot locked up going forward alongside Collison, who I was curious to see if Collison would take a hit next to Matthews. He really did not. 13 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 of 12 shooting, a 3-pointer. I think you can trust him going forward. Sabonis 9 and 9 off the bench. Tyreek Evans, his minutes have tumbled, and I think 20 minutes is what you can expect, along with Corey Joseph. Neither of those guys I think is worth owning anymore in standard leagues. Wesley Matthews might be, though. I'm not going to say it's going to be great, but 2 3-pointers tonight, 30 minutes. Are you rushing to pick him out, or you just kind of think he's going to be ho-hum going forward?
Yeah, I think he's going to kind of be ho-hum going forward. I'm not too excited about it. I am keeping an eye on it, though. I originally expected more, but until it actually happens, I am not going to believe it until I see it. And for you Sabonis team owners, I apologize. I think I have personally cursed this guy, Neil. The moment I put him into my lineup, he has been underwhelming. I promise you, if I move him to my bench, he's going to go off. So if you have Sabonis, then Venmo me $5 and I'll move him back to my bench, guys.
I think you owe it. I think you owe it to the listeners to take him out of your lineup.
I think I will. All right. That's all I got on the Pacers. Hey, Pacers, surprisingly, I think they're like number 3 right now in the East. Man, when they lost Victor Oladipo, I thought they were done. And man, this team is set to make a run in the playoffs. So good for the Pacers. All right, I'm going to move over to the next one. Next game, the Washington Wizards and the Detroit Pistons. Pistons getting the big win here, 121-112. I'm going to take a look at the Wizards. Was pretty disappointed to see Satoransky get ruled out of this one. So it was Chase Randall getting the start, and didn't really do too much in this start. Only played 19 minutes for 5 points, so not too much there. Beal is the man. 32 points, a block, 2 steals, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 threes, a perfect 12 of 12 from the line, 9 of 19 from the field. Outstanding game from Beal. Trevor Ariza with an excellent game as well. 23 points, a block, 2 steals, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 threes. 10 of 14, man. This line reminds me why we used to love Trevor Ariza, how he could just fill it up all over, man. That's outstanding. Jeff Green was disappointing in this one. Only shot 1 of 6 for 4 points, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 3. I think he'll be much better going forward. Thomas Bryant, man, this guy getting the start, but I feel like every time I look at his box score, he's getting minutes in the teen range for, only one foul. For whatever reason, they will not give this guy 30 minutes or minutes in the high 20s where I'd love to see him. So only 8 points, 8 rebounds for him. Bobby Portis, this is the guy that you want to own in the Wizards front court. 32 minutes off the bench, 9 of 17. So that's some great usage there. 24 points. We know he's not shy. He's very aggressive. 2 steals, 1 assist, 5 rebounds, 6 threes tonight. That's outstanding from him. Make sure he's owned. I'm sure he already is. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Washington Wizards?
Yeah, this one, they've had the 2 big trades coming with Parker and Portis coming over. I was wondering how that would fit in. Portis had a lot more of the action tonight. We've seen Parker had a couple of games tonight. He really fell back. I'm not going to trust Parker going forward. I think you're right. I think Portis will finish higher than Parker. And Trevor Ariza, he's been on a tear recently. He's taken over for Otto Porter in that role, and I think he's going to be just fine going forward. So I never want to buy after a great game, but I think he's 48th over the last couple weeks, and I think him in the 50s or 60s going forward is very doable. That's what my main takeaway from tonight and the last 2 games watching Washington. All right, on the Detroit side, Blake Griffin, 31 points, 9 and 9, almost a triple-double, 12 of 23 shooting, 4 3-pointers. Andre Drummond, a monster night, 32 points, 17 rebounds, 12 of 19. He even went 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 4 steals, a block. Reggie Jackson, 16 points, 6 assists, so nice night from him, including 4 3-pointers and a steal. Langston Galloway, 21 minutes. We are waiting for Wayne Ellington to come into the starting lineup. I am assuming that's going to be the case. I'm assuming that's why he signed with them. 19 minutes tonight, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, just 1 of 8 shooting, so really off, including 0 of 7 from three-point land. I expect Wayne Ellington to get to the starting lineup and taking over for Galloway. He didn't have much of a night. No points for Galloway on 4 attempts. And that's really it. Ellington, I kind of see him like Wesley Matthews. I think he could do decently here. He's obviously got some stars around him who could feed him the ball. We know Griffin's a good passer. Maybe get Ellington some open looks. We know he's capable of knocking down a handful of threes a game. So if you need 3-pointers, I think he's worth rolling the dice on. I think he's going to be better than Matthews ultimately here in Detroit. But I don't know much else he'll do besides threes. Do you have, and then scoring, of course. Do you have any thoughts on Wayne?
I, like you, Neil, I am excited about the addition of Wayne Ellington. I'm expecting him to hopefully, as you said, step into that starting role. I think in this offense, he can, we've seen wing guys be successful on this team. They have a need for a guy to shoot threes, and we know he can do that. So let's wait and see for him to crack that starting lineup. I'm hoping maybe next game or maybe just a few more games, he'll be in that starting lineup. All right. Let's keep rolling here. Next one up, Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors. This one was a great game. The Raptors getting the victory 127 to 125. The Nets, another surprise team, another team that's played pretty good. When they lost Karis LeVert earlier in the season, another team I thought that would just fall off, and they've been playing really well. And the main guy behind their great play, D'Angelo Russell, 28 points with 14 dimes tonight. Love that assist number. 1 steal, 2 threes, 10 of 22 from the field, 6 of 8 from the line. Joe Harris, nice bounce back game from him. 24 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 7 of 8 shooting from 3-point range for Harris. That's outstanding. 7 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from the line. Great game from him. Alan Crabb with a pretty nice game. 15 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 3, 6 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line. Graham got the start, but maybe had some foul trouble here, or had 4 fouls in just 20 minutes. He only had 6 points. Kuruks with 5 points in just 16 minutes in his start. Actually, you know what? I said earlier, Alan Crabb. I misspoke. That was Jarrett Allen that I said earlier with the 15 points. Alan Crabb did still have a nice game. The real Alan Crabb had a nice game. 31 minutes off the bench. He had 22 points, a steal, and assists, 3 rebounds, 8 of 13 shooting from the field, 6 of 10 from the line. It's a great game from him. Karis LeVert still shaking the rust off, still coming off the bench, but man, I am excited that this guy has returned so soon. So it's going to probably take him a little while to get his legs back, to get 100%, maybe not even until after the All-Star break, but stick with him. I think he's going to be much better for the final stretch of the season. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, 22 minutes, just had 3 points. Man, this is a guy I had high hopes for coming into the year. I've completely given up on him. He's done for me. Napier, I think this guy, man, I grabbed this guy in a few leagues. I've been loving him, and it might be over. The Napier fantasy value might be done with LeVert returning, Crabb playing. So I don't know, man. Neil, what do you think of the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, I think Napier is unfortunately done. LeVert, 23 minutes. That'll just get more. That'll just increase as he gets more healthy, and then Napier, I think, will just inversely go down. So I don't trust him going forward. I don't trust Kuruks or Graham. Yeah, there's only a few guys here. Joe Harris continues to be solid. I don't see anything new, though. I think all the guys that are worth owning are probably already owned in this league. From this team. So I don't see any additions. I think it's just kind of hold from here. On the Toronto side, Kawhi Leonard, monster game, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 10 of 20 shooting, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Pascal Siakam, 17, 4 and 4, shot 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 steals. Ibaka still getting the start here at center. This is going to be very curious how this goes down. 26 minutes. Let's compare that to Gasol, who got 22 minutes. Ibaka outplayed him in terms of the stats: 18 points, 12 rebounds, 9 of 13 shooting, a steal, a block. Gasol, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did shoot 7 of 9, 1 steal, 1 block. I have to believe that Nick Nurse is going to get the best players in the best positions. I just trust him as a coach, which means I think Gasol. I would not be surprised if Gasol gets in the starting lineup. His stats set won't be as strong as it was in Memphis, but I think it's going to be better than this going forward. So if there's a frustrated Gasol owner, I think you could perhaps make a nice offer for him and pick him up. Lowry, solid night, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and then Adrian's favorite player, Danny Green, 33 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists on 3 of 8 shooting, 3 steals, 3 threes. I hope you had him in there, Adrian. This is a good night for him. Not much else to talk about. I think Gasol is a little undervalued from these last 2 games. We'll see where it ultimately ends up. Do you have any thoughts on him or anyone else on Toronto?
Yes, I did have Danny Green in my lineup, and it unfortunately looks like I'll probably have to leave him there now that Napier is likely going to be a drop. So going to move Danny Green into my starting roster. And Neil, curious to get your thoughts on the Raptors made a move today, picking up Jeremy Lin. It sounds like Fred VanVleet is going to be out for at least maybe 3 weeks, and a nice move by the Raptors to pick up Jeremy Lin, a guy who can back up Lowry. And we know Jeremy Lin is very solid when he gets minutes. Unfortunately, as far as fantasy goes, I don't think we can count on Jeremy Lin in standard leagues, but reality-wise, a pretty good move. What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. Yeah, he got bought out by Atlanta and then signed with Toronto. Like you said, he did not play today, but I think, reality-wise, I think it's a very good move. I don't think he's going to have much fantasy value. They just have too many guys here who can score and facilitate. I think he'll be a nice addition to the team, but fantasy-wise, I think it's going to be even lower than it was in Atlanta. So I would not look at picking him up.
All right, you heard it. You heard it here. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep chugging away, man. Geez, what a busy night of games. Next one up, the Trailblazers and the Thunder. I was really excited for this one, man. Two powerhouse teams in the Western Conference. The Thunder have been playing really well. 120-111. The Thunder getting the victory. Man, outstanding. I'm going to look over on the Blazers side. I'm going to start with Damian Lillard, who had an outstanding scoring night, 31 points, 3 threes on 9 of 22 shooting. He added a block, 2 steals, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. McCollum with 13 points, 4 assists, a steal, 4 rebounds, 1 3, 5 of 20 shooting. Aminu had a nice game, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. I was really worried when they added who did they added? Hood. I was really worried that Hood was just going to destroy Aminu, but Aminu still getting good minutes here starting tonight, showing maybe don't give up on Aminu. Nurkic with a good game. 9 points, a steal, 2 blocks, 12 rebounds, 2 of 7 from the field, 5 of 8 from the line. Harkless starts, but has just been so underwhelming. Only 3 points in 20 minutes. Off the bench, don't really trust or can count on anyone off the bench. Layman did have a decent game, 17 points and assists, 4 rebounds, 2 threes on 5 of 7 shooting in 28 minutes, but don't trust anyone there. Neil, what do you think of the Blazers?
I still don't trust Aminu, even though he did have a good night tonight. He's hanging at 123 on a per-game basis in 8 category leagues. I think that's kind of where he ends up. So I think he could have decent nights like tonight, but then have some mediocre nights going forward. Layman, like you said, has been playing well off the bench. Not good enough for fantasy this year, but if somehow get him for next year, I think he might have a bigger role, especially if this team goes in blow-up mode, and they move some of their bigger pieces. Layman could be a future asset on this team. We'll see what they do after the playoffs this year. Not much else from me on Portland side. On the OKC side, I'm going to start with Paul George. My God, 47 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 15 of 26 from the field, 8 3-pointers. If my math is correct, it's over 60% from 3-point land. 2 steals. 9 of 11 from the free throw line. He's just phenomenal. Westbrook and a triple-double from him as well. 2 guys triple-doubling, 21 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists, but shot a poor 5 of 19 from the field. Did have a steal and 2 blocks. The other starters, Adams just 9 points and a single rebound. Very unusual for him. And then Ferguson, 8 points, no assists, no rebounds. Patrick Patterson, 0 points, 7 rebounds, 0 assists. Adrian, this team is starting to remind me of Detroit. We have 2 big guys, and everyone else is just not contributing. Paul George, I think he's got us already mentioned for MVP, right? If OKC can get up there, he has just been phenomenal all year long. Played 43 minutes tonight. Unfortunately, let's see who was out. Oh, Schroeder was out tonight, so that probably affects his value. Adams just had an off night. It's definitely still trust him, but it seems to be basically the PG and Westbrook show. Nothing new from me tonight. Thoughts from you on the Thunder?
Not too much for me to add. I just want to say, man, Westbrook, I believe he broke an NBA record, 10 straight triple doubles out. It's crazy to see 2 guys on the same team get triple doubles. Those 2 are just outstanding. And Neil, I'm curious, what do you think is more special, 10 straight triple doubles from Westbrook, or I think Harden's got some crazy streak going. I think he's like 30 games with 30 plus points. It's crazy, right? Which one do you think's which one's more impressive?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I really don't know. Part of it's the efficiency. I have to look at Harden's efficiency. And I think, people have to knock Westbrook. I'm going to go with him. That's more impressive. I mean, it depends on how efficient Harden's doing it. I know he's got a lot of threes and a lot of free throws, so I'd have to see how that breaks out. But assuming their percentages are similar, I would go with Westbrook. Do you have thoughts on what's more impressive?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think Westbrook getting these triple doubles are huge, and Harden scores so easily. It's almost like 30 is almost not a big deal. Like he needs to get like in the 40 range to like impress me now, because he scores with such ease, which I guess we just take it for granted that we see him do it so easily that it doesn't look impressive. And I guess that's probably a bad perception for me to have, because what Harden's doing, I shouldn't take anything away from him, man. That's very impressive, what he's doing over there. All right, let's keep going here. The Los Angeles Clippers, Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves getting the victory, 130-120. I'm going to check in on the Clipper side. Patrick Beverley was not good at all. 1 out of 2. Shot 1 out of 2 in 32 minutes. Only took 2 shots, man. Come on, jack up some more shots, Pat Bev. Danilo Gallinari. Happy to see this guy back. I think he's in for a really nice final stretch of the season. 12 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 5 rebounds. A little underwhelming from him tonight, but I think he's got a green light to just go to have a lot of big games after the All-Star break. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this is a guy who I think his arrow is pointing up. I think the All-Star break's going to kind of do him some good, let him get a little rest. And 10 points here tonight, 1 steal, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 2 threes. I think Avery Bradley leaving here is going to help him out quite a bit. Temple getting the start, only 4 points in 18 minutes. Don't trust him. A lot of people were excited about Zubac, but I was on the fence about it. In fact, I still believe that Montrezl Harrell's the guy you want to own. I thought maybe I messed up in that thinking when Zubac cracked the starting lineup. But look, tonight, only 3 points in 15 minutes. I don't know if fouls could have been an issue. He did have 3 fouls in just 15 minutes. Harrell was the guy in the front court. They really looked good tonight. 35 minutes off the bench, had 18 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, a block, 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from the line. Lou Williams, 45 points. Oh my goodness, 3 threes. He was 16 of 16 from the line, 13 of 25 from the field. What a game from Lou Will. Shamet, 15 points, and he got some nice extended run off the bench. He played 33 minutes. It was a pretty good game from him. Don't really trust anyone else off this bench. Neil, what are your thoughts on the LA Clippers?
I was worried about Zubac as well, being a high minutes, high volume guy, even though he is starting 15 minutes. I think it's a little low. I think he was in foul trouble and sat more than normal, but I don't think he's going to get much higher than 20 to 24 minutes a game. So I don't think he's going to be great. I think he will be worth owning, though, if perhaps the Zubac owner drops him after tonight or something. And Beverly, I am worried about him down the stretch, just being a low usage guy. So I think those days of some of those breakout games were just a little anomalous. Like you said, Harrell is going to be strong down the stretch. Lou Williams, amazing. Landry Shamet, I don't know if you mentioned him or not. I think he has future value in this league. And so far, tonight he had 33 minutes. He had another nice night off the bench last game, I believe, since coming over here and from Philly. And I think he is someone who will be maybe low end this year, certainly next year. I think he's going to be a very solid fantasy asset. So keep an eye on him down the stretch, especially if the Clippers start to fall out of playoff contention. I think Shamet should at that point be owned. All right, on the Minnesota side, Adrian, we had talked about this. Dario Saric into the starting lineup. You and I have been waiting for this for what feels like forever. 33 minutes, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 11 from the field, 4 3-pointers, 2 steals. I think he's going to be a big ad tonight. I'm going to try to pick him up. Luol Deng getting the start. That's nuts. 38 minutes. This guy, I didn't even know he was in shape to play 38 minutes. Good for him. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 10 shooting, 2 steals. Towns continues to roll along here. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 7 of 11, 10 of 12 from the free throw line, 2 steals himself. Josh Okogie gets the start. Not much fantasy value. Jeff Teague is back playing very well. 19 points tonight, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. Did shoot just 40% tonight, 6 of 15 from the field, but had 6 of 7 free throws, a 3-pointer, and a steal. Derrick Rose also playing 25 minutes. Taj Gibson, 21 minutes off the bench. I am curious to see if this is a permanent thing with Saric. I'm willing to roll the dice and pick him up in my home league, at least try to. It's a free agent bid up process. Are you buying the hype on Saric?
Yes, absolutely, man. This is Neil, just as you said, man, this is what we've been waiting for. We knew he could do this if he just got starter type minutes. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. Look, if he's going to start, this is what he's going to do. You got to jump fast sometimes on getting players like this. So, Neil, just like you, my home league, likely going to drop Napier and likely try to get Dario Saric. So let's see. Let's fingers crossed tonight, Neil. All right, let's keep going. The next one, Milwaukee Bucks and the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls and Bucks. The Bucks 112. The Bulls 99. Gonna look in on the Milwaukee side. Gonna start with Giannis Antetokounmpo, 29 points, 3 blocks, 8 assists, 17 rebounds, 2 of 3 from downtown, 9 of 13 from the field, 9 of 14 from the line. I don't even care that he had 6 turnovers. Middleton, 16 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 3 on 6 of 13 shooting. Brogdon with 17 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 threes on 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line. Brook Lopez, only 7 points tonight, but love the 3 blocks, the steal, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 3 on 3 of 11 shooting. Bledsoe with a game here, 19 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 3 threes on 5 of 8 shooting, a perfect 6 of 6 from the line. Neil, we talk about it constantly, man. The Bucks, 5 guys who can put up some good fantasy value. It's outstanding. Ilyasova had 12 points off the bench. We don't trust him. Don't really trust anybody on this bench. We're still waiting for the first game of Niko Mirotic. So really curious to see how they work this guy into the lineup. And if he can have value with these other 5 guys, be very interesting. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Bucks?
The Bucks continue to roll. I thought my hometown Bulls might get here a sneaky win, but it was not to be had, like you said. Like we said, all their starters do very well. Mirotic, I am so interested when this guy comes on the court. This team can score lots of points. Mirotic just adds another dimension to him. I'm much more actually interested in them reality-wise and fantasy-wise going forward. I think we kind of know where they are fantasy-wise. Mirotic, unfortunately, has got to take a hit. He just won't have the same usage as he did down New Orleans, but I think he will have mid 20 minutes at the very least and take up a bunch of shots still. I'm just so curious how they are reality-wise. I have no change fantasy-wise on them going forward. Any thoughts on you on anything else before I move forward?
No.
All right. Chicago Bulls. My man, Lauri Markkanen, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists. Unfortunately, just 6 of 20 from the field. Did go 7 of 7 from the line, 2 steals and a 3-pointer. Otto Porter filling in just as we had hoped. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 3-pointers, a steal. Lopez still starting at center. It is so unfortunate that Carter Jr. is out for the rest of the season. This would be actually, I think, a pretty fun lineup to watch if he was in it. Lopez getting 33 minutes. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 of 13 shooting. I guess if he's getting 33 minutes, he should be at least on my watch list. He's probably out there in every league. Chris Dunn played 33 minutes tonight. Did have to leave with back issues. Came back, but had a paltry 1 of 9 shooting. Didn't do much else. Zach LaVine, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. I think this is a good young core, Adrian. I know they talked about Chris Dunn may not be their point guard of the future. They're still kind of testing him out, but everyone else they seem pretty comfortable with. Not much happening off the bench here. The one interesting thing here is Robin Lopez. How many minutes does he get, and should he be picked up at some point? I'm almost on principle not picking him up because I don't think he should be in there, but he is 268 on the season, so obviously not from that stat set, but over the last couple of weeks he's up to 174. Let's see how much they use him down the stretch. Just to watch this guy for now. Thoughts on the Bulls?
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Robin Lopez too. It's Neil, I like you. I'm not very high on him as a player, but just due to there's really not much competition for him with Wendell Carter Jr. being gone, shipping Bobby Portis out. So really, he's really the only guy there. And Neil, as you said, if he's going to get 33 minutes, he almost has to be owned. So I don't know. In my deep leagues, I'm talking 14 team or deeper, I've got some dead weight at the end of my roster. I might just pick him up just to see if he can keep getting this role, see if he can keep getting his minutes. Took a lot of shots tonight. So I don't know. Let's keep an eye on it. But in deep leagues, I may go ahead and jump on it. All right. Next one up, the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets. Another exciting game. And man, this was really exciting for me to see, Neil, because two guys who have mastered the art of the step back three, James Harden and Luka Doncic, and did not disappoint. The Rockets getting the victory 120-104. Pretty excited to look in on the Mavericks side. Everybody was saying Dwight Powell or Maxi Kleber. I was in that boat too, Neil. I thought Powell likely the guy. A lot of people loved Kleber. I think the real guy who you may want to pick up is Dorian Finney-Smith. He's just getting a lot of minutes, 36 minutes. Tonight didn't really have the scoring going, was only 3 of 9, but I think this guy needs to be owned, and I think he'll be a lot better than this on most nights. And, I even love what he did in some of these other categories with the 2 steals, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. And, I think he needs to be picked up if he hasn't been already. Luka Doncic, flirting with a triple-double. This kid's outstanding, man. 21 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, 2 threes, 7 of 17 from the field, 5 of 9 from the line. Great stuff from him. Tim Hardaway Jr. with 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 threes, 3 of 11 shooting, 2 from the line. I'm hoping he'll be much better than this. Brunson, I don't really trust him, but had a decent game here tonight. Is starting, so I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on Brunson. 13 points and assists, 5 rebounds, 3 of 3 from downtown. He shot perfect tonight. Perfect from 3, perfect from the field, perfect from the line. It's an outstanding game from him. Kleber, 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 3. Dwight Powell off the bench, 12 points, 4 rebounds. He's been pretty good. Nobody else that I really trust here off the bench or that I think's worth discussing. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Mavericks?
Yeah, the front court situation there. A lot of buzz about Kleber and Powell, like you said, after the trade deadline with the moves that they made. I was not crazy about either one of them. Powell mainly because I was worried about his minutes, and then he's been on this team for several years, same coach. He's never gotten a lot of opportunity. There's probably a reason for that. Kleber, newer, has gotten some starting role, but doesn't seem to me to have the talent yet to put up a lot of stats and the usage, and tonight is one of those nights. If I had to pick one, I would pick Powell, only because he's so much more efficient, and he doesn't need a ton of minutes tonight. He had a pretty good fantasy game with the percentages, or his field goal percentage. Like you said, Finney-Smith, I guess you can roll dice with him. I am not big on him this year. I only like Luka. I don't know why. That's the only person I trust. Hardaway Jr. I think will be fine, but not great. And I think the rest of this team they really might distribute the minutes all over the place. I think Finney-Smith or Brunson. I'm not even sure between those two. I think it's a tough call for me. We'll see how it plays out. If I had to pick someone, it'd just be Powell, only because he can be efficient in low minutes. While I don't know how the minutes are going to go. We'll see if Finney-Smith is someone that I miss out on. All right, I'm going to go over to the Houston side. James Harden took 23 shots. 17 of them were 3-pointers, made 6 of them, 5 steals, 7 of 7 from the line, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists on 9 and 23 shooting. Kenneth Faried continues to do a great job replacing Clint Capella, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist on 7 of 8 shooting, a steal, a block. Eric Gordon, 18 points tonight. Nice to see him score. Had 4 3-pointers, a block. Did not do much else. 2 rebounds and assists. PJ Tucker, 1 of 4 in 36 minutes. Just 3 points, a single 3-pointer, 2 steals, a block, 7 rebounds, an assist. Chris Paul back in there, played 29 minutes, 17 points, 11 assists. Nice double-double from him. 5 of 12 shooting, including 5 3-pointers and 2 steals. Off the bench, not much there. Gerald Green had a nice night, 19 points on 7 of 12 from the field. But this is kind of like whack-a-mole with their bench and their wings here. I don't really know who's going to go off on each night. It's really just Faried, Harden, and Paul I trust. Adrian, do you have a wing here that you can recommend to me?
I do. He is not on the team yet. His name is Markieff Morris. No, I'm just kidding. There are some rumors. There are some rumors that they're interested in adding Markieff Morris. Lakers as well might have some interest, but no. I don't really trust anyone, Neil. Also, I really hope we get Clint Capella back after the All-Star break. Likely will maybe ruin the value of Kenneth Faried, but personally, I have Capella in a few leagues, and I would love to see this guy get back. Okay, let's keep going. How many more games do we got? Are you seeing one more game?
I'm just seeing one more. We're at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Let me refresh. Yes, final score. This one was some kind of a blowout here. The Nuggets 103, the Heat 87. Going to jump in on the Miami side. Josh Richardson had a monster game the other night. They kind of fell back down to earth here a little bit, but I hope we see big things from him down the stretch. 12 points tonight, 7 turnovers is a kind of a bummer, but 8 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 4-9 shooting, 2-2 from the line. Waiters with 11 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 4-9 shooting, 3-6 from downtown. Winslow with 15 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, 1 3, 6 of 16 from the field. We know Winslow could have trouble with field goal percentage, so that was an issue tonight. This is the guy. Make sure he's owned. Kelly Olynyk in the starting lineup, getting good minutes here. James Johnson has moved to the bench. Kelly Olynyk is starting, playing pretty well. 11 points from him, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 3, 4 of 13 from the field, 2 from the line. Whiteside, disappointing here in just 20 minutes, had 6 points and 8 rebounds, 1 steal, no blocks. Dragic is not back yet. Wade is doing his farewell tour thing. We don't trust that. We don't trust anybody else on this team. Nope, I don't. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Miami Heat?
Yeah, Linux, the one curious one. You know, they're off here on a back-to-back in Denver, so it's going to be a tough night for him. But, yeah, Linux started. He played 28 minutes tonight. Last night he started, or yesterday afternoon he started against the Warriors. Did not play as many minutes. Maybe just could not hang with that team over there in matchup purposes. I think Olynyk might. Yesterday I was saying that I didn't trust him, but if he's going to continue to start and could get high 28 minutes, then he's worth owning. So he might be either someone I watch or I pick up and stash. Certainly not I'm picking up and starting just yet, especially my Games Cap League. But you're right. I think he could have some fantasy value going forward. It looks like they are going to give him a shot down the stretch. At least so far, the last few games are any indication since the trade deadline. So I might pick him up. Very curious to see. On the Denver side, we'll start with Jokic, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. Not a great night shooting, 7 to 16, just below 50%. Did go 3 or 3 from the 3-point land. Had 7 turnovers. Will Barton back in the starting lineup, 32 minutes. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists tonight. Hasn't been the Will Barton that we kind of expected that he had last year. I think he's a little bit down from last season when he was coming off the bench. Mason Plumlee started at center still with Millsap coming off the bench tonight. He's working his way back in. This will change, I think, pretty quickly. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists for Plumlee. Malik Beasley getting the start at guard with the absence of Gary Harris. 23 points tonight from Beasley, 2 assists on 8 of 13 shooting, 5 3-pointers. If he's starting, I guess you can throw him in there to stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't trust him. Jamal Murray, a pretty quiet night in 34 minutes, just 10 points and 5 assists. Monte Morris, someone I think is worth adding if he is getting the sixth-man role. Tonight, 17 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 7 of 11 shooting, 2 steals and 2 3-pointers and 1 steal. If he can get high 28 minutes, Monte Morris, I think, is serviceable. That's about it. We'll see when Gary Harris comes back. It might be, I think now we're waiting for post-All-Star break. It's saying he could be back 222. So, yes, it'll be after the All-Star break. Any thoughts from you on the Denver Nuggets?
No thoughts from me, man. This team gives me a headache when I try to figure them out, man.
Yeah.
They just got so many players and so many good players. And, we don't have Millsap at 100%. As you said, Gary Harris. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of this team. You know what? If this was the first game of the night, I probably would have more thoughts on this team.
I know you're looking at the clock and you're like, God darn it, we're way past my bedtime. What are we doing?
For reals, though, no joke. There are some teams that is very complicated. It's not, there's some teams, Neil, we look at, it's just so simple. These are the guys you want. These are the guys you don't want. The Nuggets are a little more complex because they've had so many guys just coming on and off injury. They got so much talent. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to look like 100%. What's that rotation going to be? So it's tough. It's tough. All right. It's been a long night, Neil. I think we should wrap up, put a bow on this one. Any closing thoughts on the evening?
No, I think you said enough.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks for sticking with us. We had some technical difficulties. We had trouble starting the show, so we were a little rattled in this one, but thanks for hanging in there with us. Hit us up on Twitter. He's at Ball with Neil. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. We love hearing from you. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey, short week, you guys, due to the All-Star break. So I don't know how your league is set up. I don't know if you're in head-to-head matchups. It may be a short week. Maybe your league has it where it's this week plus next week. Check out your league settings, but keep in mind, short week. All right, you guys, we'll see you later. Thanks a lot.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.